Hello. Well, hasn't tonight been somber? Um, the first bit I'd like to mention is I'm going to get the not important bits out of the way. Obviously, Grimsby's game when Macclesfield got uh, basically washed out, and then I've got soaked and drenched in. And then I've drank about half a gallon of water. So that game will have to be rearranged. But my video's not about that. My video's going to be about this. Tonight, there's been some real sad news in the football world, especially lower league world. Bury Football Club has been expelled from the EFL. Now, that means something to me because just last season, me and my friend took the trip to Bolton, to Bury, but Bolton. We'll get onto them in just a minute. We took the trip to Bury, and they were fantastic. They were absolutely fantastic. They treat us with all sort of respect, and the staff was fantastic and everything else. And to think now that Bury have been, in all intents and purposes, liquidated tonight. My heart goes out to everybody at Bury, all the fans of Bury, all the staff at Bury, who are now out of work. This shouldn't be happening. People are saying about how much how much money there is in football. From the top level. Yeah, the money's at the top level. That's where the money is, and I've just heard somebody on TalkSport who is a Manchester City fan, who basically said this. I think all the top Premier League clubs, all you fans of clubs like Liverpool, like Manchester United, like Arsenal, like Chelsea, be thankful. I hear people complain, well, they haven't signed this, they haven't signed him, they haven't signed him. It's all, we haven't made top four, we haven't made, And I'm sat there thinking, you're complaining about not spending 75 million on players. You're not gonna die overnight. And I think that higher league clubs, Premier League clubs, they have to look at themselves. And I'm gonna distance myself from Bolton and Bournemouth, Burnley and Bournemouth. I will get on to Bolton in just a sec. But I'm gonna take Bournemouth and Burnley out of this because they are really small clubs compared to the other clubs in the league, or a lot of the other clubs in the league. I think anybody that's a fan of somebody in the top 6 or 7, please stop your complaining about not being able to sign players and where your positioning in the league is. This should bring it home. I'm a fan of a club that's in League 2. We were put after the ITV Digital collapse. We came very close to a Bury situation, and as I've said, now it shouldn't be happening in this day and age in football. Apparently, there's that much money in football, and I do think the EFL have to look at themselves. They have to look at themselves, and they cannot honestly point at people and go, well, we took a hard decision on this. This was really hard for us to do. I don't believe the EFL did enough for Bury Football Club. If they'd done enough, why did they allow somebody to buy a football club for £1 solitary? Can someone please explain to me how that is possible to make you believe that somebody that bought a club for £1 was a viable owner? I mean, EFL, explain that one. Because you guys let that happen. You know, we can blame owners and all this, that and the other. The EFL made that happen. And I'm going to say it's to all Grimsby fans as well. I know everybody at Grimsby want our main shareholder, John Venti, gone. At the moment, until we can get something absolutely solid, I would rather have John doing what he's doing than selling it and turn out like Bury. And the only other thing I want to sort of touch on is Bolton. Now, Bolton have been given 14 days. Now, people say, well, how have they got 14 days and Bury didn't get that, that luxury of 14 days to try and get a deal done? The only reason why is because the EFL would have been given, again, assurances, in inverted commas. They got assurances to say they're going to be, a deal could be done. But obviously there was a statement out yesterday, or Monday now, basically saying that if a deal hasn't been reached by the 5 o'clock deadline, which was yesterday, liquidation proceedings will be started against Bolton. The only reason why I can think that they got their suspension lifted, to give them these 14 days, is because of the Football Ventures takeover. That's all it can be. It can't be anything else. That they still believe there's a chance of this taking over. I'm going to say this to Football Ventures and to anybody like that. Get the damn deal done. You have just seen one of your closest clubs 10 miles from you go under, pretty much, because it all went flat. And because it all went flat, they are now pretty much without a club. Tomorrow morning, the Bury fans don't have a club to support. And if Bolton are not very careful, they won't have a club to support. And I've also heard people say, one stupid fan I heard on TalkSport say, well, just get another club. It doesn't work like that. I hate it when people say to me, well, who do you support? And people will say, well, I support Southend, or, like me, I support Grimsby, I support Lincoln, yeah, but who else? Who else? Why does everyone have to have a Premier League team? Because here's my argument with all this, right? Those Bury fans are absolutely heartbroken at the fact their club has pretty much gone out of business. And you get fans come and say, well, who else do you support? Yeah, but in the Premier League, who do you support? A supporter to me isn't somebody that sits on their arse, and I'm going to use that term, sits on their arse on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon and watches it live on Sky. That's not a supporter to me. That's a follower, not a supporter. The supporter, okay, the fan base at Bury on bog standard weekends is 3,000. That's 3,000 people that religiously, continuously go every week. How many sometimes do some of these big clubs get? Yeah, the ones that are there fantastic. But the ones that claim, I support Manchester United, I support Liverpool, I support Arsenal, but you sat in your living room watching them. So my thing to that is, do you support or do you just follow? Because I suppose in one way it's easier to go and watch a game on TV than to go and support your local club. You know. And I think that Bolton are as well in dire straits. They need to get this deal over the line. I don't know where they will. I hope that Bolton can, and I hope that it is fairly quick. But we'll have to find out in the morning whether the liquidation procedure will be started by the administrators, as they said on Monday. We'll have to wait and see. My last thought on this is, I'm just absolutely disgusted, more so with the EFL. The EFL let a guy buy a club for £1. Whether it's the new regime or whether it was the old regime under Sean Harvey, it doesn't matter. They let a man that had no intention of keep putting money into Bury Football Club. They let a man buy a football club for £1. They've got to look at their practices and the way they go about putting owners in charge of clubs. And it's been mentioned a lot in the media today. It has to be looked at now. Because, yes, you've got the Premier League, but you know what? There's more than just the Premier League. Football, as I've heard many times over today and last couple of days, is a family. It's a family thing. You go there because you want to go to these. And I'm not knocking the fans that go to Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, anything like that. I'm talking about the ones that sit watching it on TV and then want to tell me they're supporters. Now, you're followers, you're not supporters. To me, if you're a supporter, you go to half the games. Minimum, you go to at least half. Or at least double figures in games a season. If you don't do that, you're not a supporter. You're a follower. Now, I understand that some people work away, but let's be honest. People that live within an hour and a half, 2 hours of these big clubs and they still don't turn up. No. But that's for another day. Today, it's just sad to know that Bury FC is no more. And I once again, I would just like to say my heart goes out to Bury. Hopefully Bolton can get fixed, can get something sorted, and can get this takeover over the line. The only other thing about this is basically now it's pretty much one team now in our league will get relegated. One team. Still two will come up, but one team goes down. And if Bolton don't get it done in 14 days, nobody gets relegated. So how does that justify the league? So, to me, I just hope that, hopefully something, a Phoenix club can be brought to life for Bury. I do hope that does happen, because they are a good bunch of supporters, and they don't deserve this. Nobody at Bury and nobody at Bolton. They don't deserve this to happen. The EFL are absolute waste of space, and if they don't look at their protocol now, especially for in the tests, and they need to make sure the tests are rigorous before they let anybody take over a football club. They need to make sure there's nothing but the most stringent things in place. Bury don't deserve this. Bolton don't deserve this. EFL, you've got to look at yourselves, and you should be hanging your heads in shame, because as much as Steve Dale has caused this for Bury, you've caused it as much as they have, because you let a guy like Steve Dale take over Bury. Be ashamed. Be very, very ashamed. That's it from me for this video. Do put your comments down below. I want to know what your opinion of what I've spoke about. Like and subscribe. Subscribe if you're new to me. And I'll be back hopefully with a better upbeat video. But, I should be back for a preview of Walsall coming up at the weekend. I'll be back around about Thursday for that. Anyway, God bless everybody at Bury. I hope everything gets ironed out at Bolton, and we don't lose another great club as well. I said my heart goes out to Bury supporters, staff, and everybody associated with Bury. I'm so sorry, and believe me, my thoughts are with you guys. And I'll be back soon with a lighter video. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon.